Hi folks, this is CEO speaking again. Today we're going to find a way to improve the way we were working with our breadboard. And particularly to try to manage these kind of objects hanging around the breadboard, like a toggle switch, a heavier potentiometer, because they may come out of the board easily or wires can break. Okay, so one way to do it. If we have a same kind of project in a more advanced form like this one, that's much easier to manage simply because everything is attached with ferrules right here. The potentiometer I can use, take a look, to adjust the pace, to make it faster or slower. Okay? I can use the switch to pass from automatic control to manual one, and here I have other ferrules on the micro switch. Okay, so everything goes very easily on this one. Okay, however, when we have to work on our breadboard, it's not that easy with these things hanging around. Okay, so I imagined this kind of assembly. Let's call it a control board. Here is a switch absolutely similar to that one. Here is a potentiometer similar to that one here. This is 100 kilo ohms. For other projects, when we may need a bigger one, this is 1 mega ohm. And here is a micro switch identical to that one here. Luckily, we want only to solve the problem of two things hanging over the board, a toggle switch and a potentiometer. So I'm going to use the toggle switch here and that potentiometer 100 kilo ohms. So the answer, the simple answer to this is going to be RJ-12. And we are going to clarify that soon. From the toggle switch and from the potentiometer, wires are coming over here, and this is a very tiny terminal block, and everything, all the wires are attached using the ferrules you know. So now, what am I going to do? Instead of using these ones here, the wires, the long wires, the potentiometer tends to fall all the time, as well as the switch. I'm going to just stop the power for a while. I'm removing them. I'm taking them out, both. Okay. And then I'm going to connect a cable between my control and, take a look, here is a little breakout board, 6 pins. They are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the toggle switch has 3 pins. The potentiometer has 3 pins. So 3 plus 3 makes a 6. So then I'm going to just connect my plug over here. And I'm going to attach it where I prepared the wiring. Just like that. So this way you don't have to handle the potentiometer itself and the switch. You only have to handle a little outlet and the cable to your controls. And when you energize all that, everything is going to work like before. But now I can modify the pace from here. Take a look. It can go as low as I want. So it's the same kind of potentiometer. Or if I place the switch in the other position, I can use that little manual control, another tinier micro switch. So that's the thing about that. But then we have to clarify, what do you need in order to apply that solution, which I consider it's simple, effective, and cheap. It's simple because you only have to attach a cable between the two controls. It's effective because it allows you to control everything hanging over your breadboard when working. And it's cheap because they won't cost much. Okay, so now we're going to build the bill of materials. First thing you need is going to be a breakout board for RJ-12. Second thing you need is the crimping tool for RJ-12. Next, you need the flat cable, 6 wires. And the last thing is going to be the RJ-12 connector. It's called 6P, 6C. And now, let's find them out. Here, you're going to find this very easily on Amazon. We're going to clarify this in a minute. Don't take a look at this RJ-11. It's not RJ-11, it's RJ-12. What you should be interested about is this 6P, 6C. 6 positions or 6 possible connections and 6 connected effectively. I'm going to clarify that. Okay, it's a telephone socket connector. Okay, so you're going to get 4 of them in a little bag. Here it is. That's exactly this one. If you take a look, Trendix, 4 pieces. Again, disregard that RJ-11 is RJ-12 actually. And here inside, you're going to find the little breakout boards, 1 for each socket, okay? And 4 sockets inside. You only have to solder them together. So then you're going to get exactly this one here, exactly like the one mounted on the breadboard. So far, so good. So that's the position number 1, okay? Next is the crimping tool. But you don't have to have a crimping tool only for RJ-12. That crimping tool, here is the Amazon's choice, is actually for RJ-45 and RJ-12. Here in the top is RJ-45, and here next to it, a bit smaller, is RJ-12. You're going to find right above the bigger opening here 8P, 8 positions, so this is for RJ-45, and this one here 6P, this is for RJ-12. So maybe that's the moment to clarify a bit these kind of things. So RJ actually stands for registered jack, RJ. And the number following it, it only specifies how many contacts it has. And this one we're going to clarify a bit later. But the most common one everybody knows is RJ-45, used for networking cables, Ethernet. And the one we're going to use is RJ-12, which was used in the past to connect the phone to the landline. Okay. So this is the tool, and here we identify clearly what kind of part of the crimping we're going to use is this one. So don't worry, I'm going to show you how to use it. That was the position number 2, the crimping tool. The next 2 ones, the flat cable and the connectors themselves. You don't have to buy them from Amazon. You enter in any or the closest electronic shop to your home, because these things are in sale. Less and less companies are using them right now, so this is why you can find them for a very reasonable price. Like this one, the cable itself, it already has 2 connectors attached to the 2 ends, but is too long. It's 14 feet. This is making approximately 4 meter long, okay, in metric. So 14 feet, $3.25. And here a little bag with 10 connectors, RJ-12, it's $1.50, okay? So this is what we're going to use. Now is the moment to clarify these kind of connectors called RJ, registered jack. This is what all of you know for sure, because this one is when you attach your internet link to your computer. And if you can see here, there are 8 shiny contacts, all of them connected. So the fact that this kind of connector, and by the way, it doesn't matter, I have several of them, all of them are transparent, so very easily to manipulate and to see how many wires do you have inside. If you count carefully, this one here, even if your internet does not need all the 8 wires, you only need 4 of them, 2 for transmission, 2 for reception. So 2 pairs of wires. But the cable itself, category 5, it contains all the 8 wires connected on the 8 contacts. So this kind of connection is also known as being 8P, 8C. They say 8 positions because you may insert here up to 8 wires or 8 possible connections, and all 8 connected, or 8 contacts. They say 8 contacts, but all of them connected, okay? And this is similar to RJ-45. I put this aside, okay? Now, even if it may look a bit confusing, the next 2 ones, actually the next 3 ones, they look alike because the plastic part, the connector itself, is identical in shape and size, excepting that this flat cable, if you take a look, is a bit wider than this one here. So this one contains 6 wires inside. So this kind of connection is also known as being 6P, simply because if you take a look here, there are 6 shiny connections, all of them made. So 6 possible connections, 6 effectively connected, 6P, 6C. And this is known under the name RJ-12. Another kind of cable which was used for many years connecting the phones to the landline, even if the plastic part is absolutely the same, I can easily prove this to you using an old IBM laptop cable for a modem. So the cable fits perfectly inside. The other one, having a wider cable, fits perfectly inside, okay? See? And the difference is, this one has all the 6 wires connected, and the one with the narrower cable is 6 possible contacts, but only 4 connected, 6P, 4C. If you take a closer look, only 4 shiny contacts are here, but the grooves exist on the external parts. They don't just have the shiny connectors, shiny contacts placed there, okay? And this is known under the name RJ-11. So again, the plastic part is identical, but just because it has 4 connected instead of 6, 6P, 4C is known under the name RJ-11. And just for the fun of it, there is another one, this one here, having only 2 contacts placed over here. So this is also known as being 6P, 2C, okay? And there is also a narrower one. You can clearly see the plastic part is narrower. and this one here can only have 4 maximum or 4 possible positions. So this is called 4P. In that situation, all the 4 are connected. 4P, 4C. This is known under RJ-9. RJ-9. That's less important because this one was only connecting the handset to the base of the phone. Okay? As less and less such phones are used on the market, it doesn't work to discuss about it. So now we go back to what we need. What we need is to talk about this one here, which is 6P, 6C. This one we need because 6 contacts, 3 for the potentiometer, another 3 for the switch. We need 6 contacts. So then we are going to simply open this bag. We'll put this one aside. We're just going to open this bag and making the connections. As you can see here, on one end it already has a connector placed, so we don't need to do anything about it. So I'm gonna make one 4 feet long. My little workbench here has 2 feet, so 2 plus 2 is 4 feet. Okay, so here I'm gonna cut it. Now the tool. I have an older one. I only have the RJ-12. You don't need to buy this one because you're going to use the much better one for both connections, RJ-45, RJ-12. However, the same features can be found on the other one, which is better. Here is the cutter. So if you cut it, there is no problem. It's going to cut it. It's very sharp. So this is the one I'm going to make. But you see, I cut it on purpose like this. This is not straight. It has to be perpendicular. And for that reason, if you find such a thing, you have to do your best to cut it properly, like that. And then, right here, there is another cutter. But you see the blades, they don't touch each other. It's simply because they are going to strip out the insulation, but not the insulation of the wires, only the external plastic jacket covering the wires. And even more interesting, you don't do this. Here, there is a stopper. Over here, there is a stopper, and is adjusted exactly at the distance required to strip out the jacket of the cable. So, you place it here, it doesn't fall down, okay? And then it goes exactly at the distance required. You see this? It didn't touch the wires themselves, but only the plastic jacket covering the 6 wires. Okay? Now the key to do a good connection is to watch exactly what are the colors, because you cannot put it like this or like that. If you do this, you're going to get a crossover cable. That's not what you need. You need a straight cable. So I'm gonna take the most visible one, the white on my right side, and I'm identifying it over here just to see this is exactly in the good position. So for me, it does not look like being cut exactly where it was. Okay, so now we're going to pick up a connector from here, from the bag, and take a look how to do it. We're going to gently insert it, pushing to the end, see, like this. And then we're going to insert it in the tool. This way it enters. So now, to make sure, you're going to crimp it properly like this, and when you remove it, it has to stay. Okay, let's make another one. just to see that everything is fine. So, what's the first thing we do? We cut it. We cut it on one side. We check the other side. It was not cut properly before. We cut it right, like this. Then, we place it here to remove the jacket. We pick up a good connector from here. We identify, let's say we keep the white to the right. See? We pick up our crimping tool and we squeeze it strongly to make sure everything is fine, okay? And then we take the other end, being careful to align it the same way. Take a look. If the white is on my right, here the white has also to be on the same right. So then we place it here. We place it in the tool. And we squeeze it, making sure it won't come out, okay? And now, the last step, we've made the cable. Excellent job. Let's go and check it. Is this working or not? Okay then, so back on the workbench. This is the cable I had before. It's shorter. The one I brought right now is 4 feet long. So, as you can take a look, it's much longer, okay? So then, we're going to stop the power. We remove it from here, the older cable, and we connect the new one. Take a look how easy it is to connect it. That's it. And now the moment of truth. Let's see if it's working. Of course it is. So you can easily modify the pace. It's going much slower or faster. Okay. Then with the switch, we can watch it here. It's going from the little micro switch, manual control. Okay. So we have no problems with. Everything is fine. So what is this again? To summarize, this is a breakout board with the outlet to use the RJ-12 cable. And this way we can manage much easier the objects hanging usually around the breadboard, which tend to fall down or to break their own wires, okay? Or to hang other wires from the board and so on. So simple, effective, and cheap control. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.